thing that makes the Mike Tyson peekaboo stance so effective and so incredible is how easy it is to land shots out of this stance, because you're already committed. You're already out of your traditional boxing stance into this infighting stance. It's almost like you're wrestling or kickboxing. One huge problem I had in sparring was going from my boxing background, where I was very bladed in this traditional stance, to kickboxing or MMA. So open to takedowns, so open to leg kicks. Of course, this is one thing that Josh Thompson told me, great MMA Bellator champion who fought Gilbert Melendez. I asked him, what's the best way to defend a takedown? He said, lateral motion. I was really into 10th Planet at the time. I'm like, what? It's not sprawling? You know, it's not stuffing the take? He said, no, lateral motion. That having been said, once your lateral motion doesn't work and you're actually getting taken down, the best defense is to crash against them. You don't drop to the floor. You can no longer do your Aikido stuff and turn away. As the wrestler's body hits you, it's like a leg kick. You actually have to block, and block hard, in order not to take that damage. Your body has to block that takedown, which is impossible in the traditional boxing stance, as it is to block a leg kick, as it is to block, you know, a round kick to the hip. It's just so much easier in this kind of like Bas Rutten, Mike Tyson shoulder forward style. Now, your hand is no longer in this perfect 2 apples away sideways boxing stance. In the Tyson stance, both hands are where the rear hand is traditionally in the traditional boxing stance, right there, right up front. And the beauty of that is, unlike the traditional boxing stance where you have your front hand, you know, a couple of fist distance away, you're already inside, you're already shoulder to shoulder. So you're looking to land these vicious, brutal hooks and uppercuts and overhands. You're not looking to do this long distance game and have the hand be far away from the body. So it just makes everything so much better for takedown defense, for kick defense, for MMA. The peekaboo stance, if you're using it with footwork and angulation and circling and going in as well as going out, faking takedowns, using those takedown feints to set up shots, shots meaning actual strikes, and then use takedowns, it actually becomes viable, where there's actually no crossover between that traditional rhythm range fighting stance and MMA, because of your total openness to kicks and takedowns. So I'm surprised that a lot more fighters don't use it. It is the one boxing style, like Philly shell, again, that's not gonna work. And a pro MMA fighter, UFC fighter actually told me this, that, you know, jabs are actually leave you so open for a double leg takedown. So you don't really wanna have a jab festival in MMA or a street fight where there's kicks or takedowns involved. Where there's takedowns involved, you're actually much better at throwing 2s and 3s. And decades later, now I understand what that great man was telling me, that it's actually, you know, in some forms of fighting and some rules of fighting, power punches actually work better, especially in terms of defending takedowns. Power punches work a lot better than lead jabs. So there you go, just another way that the Mike Tyson peekaboo style offers stylistic advantages. And of course, from this turtle guard, you have this amazing power jab that you don't have in the traditional boxing stance, because just like a hook, your shoulders are already loaded up. They're already there, ready to fire. And then right after that, the shoulders replace again, and the feet clip clop, and the front heel drops. And right after that, the other weapons just naturally flow with that punch flow, where the rear weapons become the front weapons and the front weapons become the rear weapons, where the lead shoulder, where the front shoulder becomes the rear shoulder and the rear shoulder becomes the front shoulder. And you're really just using these legs, butt, hamstrings, quadriceps, calves, core, abdominis rectus, iliopsoas, back muscles, everything. Whole body is one unit to deliver these strikes, as opposed to just shoulder power, really using the torque of the feet, pushing off the ground, using the whole body as one unit. Such a powerful style, this peekaboo style. So if you guys have any questions, and remember, the most important thing about any style It's not just this amazing turtle guard jab. It's using it with an effective defense so that you're not getting hit and your opponent is getting hit. The way we're going to do that is by slipping while we're striking. You can see where my head is right now. With a slip jump, as fast as you can slip, or with the slip too, you can set up those amazing power shots, which are going to keep you safe. So that having been said, with the shoulder forward style, you're unable to pull. That's the one thing that you can't really do with this style. Since you're looking to come in and bump and use angles, go to third base and bump and shuffle and get to second base, ideally where you can fight, or slip and shuffle and get to first base, and then pivot around one more time so that you can get around your opponent using these diagonal patterns, which is how you cut off the ring and how you stay safe in boxing. So much there, and such a safe way to create pressure, much like Nick Diaz does. He manages to stay in the pocket. You take very little defense because he's such an intelligent fighter with such great defense. Same thing with Mike Tyson. In his heyday, he was using that offensive defense style, that customado peekaboo slip and rip style perfectly. So big up to the champ, and there you go. Make sure you're practicing.